Year 1 Aztecross used to rock Armamentarium boys with lightning grenades. Yes, I used to make it rain all day long. Give me a map like Firebase Delphi, plant that bitch at B, everyone goes bye-bye real quick. With that being said though, is Armamentarium that type of deadly here in D2? Well, lightning grenades are definitely not at that level, if I guess you can find some people that will stand in them long enough, but post grenades are pretty good. And my favorite tree on the striker class is actually bottom tree. It has so many things that helps its neutral game. You get health upon melee kills, you get further melee distance, so there's so many things here that's working for bottom tree striker. But for me, for the longest time, I just wish I had a second nade. Boom, problem solved, man. Armamentarium. I know it's a recycled exotic. I know people don't like seeing D1 exotics coming back to D2. But I'm okay with this, as well as Jade Rabbit and just about every exotic they've brought back. Because on the Titan class, we don't necessarily have just a bunch of options in terms of exotics. I know a lot of people say Syntheseps is their favorite. I find that I get myself in bad situations with Syntheseps. They're nasty, sure, but there's a lot of times that I'll just melee up to someone to just have them melee me back. When you're going against good enemies, they normally will shred you before you can even get to them with a melee. So then I use ACD feedback for a little bit, which was actually really good, and I really do like feedback a lot. For the longest time, I used Dune Marchers with hammers because slide distance and just being able to sprint faster was really nice in closing the gap. Long story short, guys, there's just not been a lot of exotics here that is good for the Titan. And I am so thankful that we have Armamentarium because not only is it good in PvP, but it's also good in PvE. Now for PvP, like I said, I mainly want to utilize the best neutral game class, which is honestly right here on Striker. I may rock this out on a Sentinel just to get double suppressor nades so that I could just make sure I'm always keeping, supers down. But outside of that, guys, I definitely don't think I'm going to be using it for any other grenade in the game, especially on the Sunbreaker class. There's just not many nades on the Sunbreaker class that I found to be good PvP nades. Incendiary grenades are great, I love them, but let me be honest with you guys, they just don't do enough damage for what they do. They're timed, they're also supposed to be accurately placed, and thermite grenades are great. I love them in PvE. In PvP, you just gotta catch people right. And sometimes you do. Sometimes you catch them and it will rip through them. And then other times, man, people just sidestep right around your nade and pop you. So the grenades that I utilize the most with Armamentarium, guys, again, would be pulse grenades and would be suppressors. So when it comes to deciding of whether or not you should use Armamentarium, I would really just sit down and say, all right, do I use one of those two grenades a lot? And this is, of course, related to PvP. I'm not saying you can't make it work for other grenades. I'm just saying that those are the two strongest neutral game grenades on the Titan class as of now. All right. Let's talk about PvE because this is when it really started to show how nasty it can be. I like the Sunbreaker class, I really do. And normally I go top tree just because it's got a little more DPS with the embers for bosses. But bottom tree is fantastic, especially for heroic strikes, just dealing with ads. And now that we got a little more love in terms of burns, if you've got something like a solar burn, bottom tree does enough damage to chew through those ads, and plus the hammer lasts a little bit longer. With that being said though, thermite grenades take forever to charge back, but with Armamentarium, oh, it's nasty, guys. So bottom tree on Sunbreaker has a lot of good synergy there. Essentially, guys, solar ability kills restore your health, okay? And grenade and melee ability kills leave deadly sunspots in their way. So if you've got things like thermite grenades that are constantly tagging people, you're going to be getting your health back and dropping sunspots everywhere. Now, what gets even better is that if you stand in your own sunspot, you're going to cause your solar abilities to recharge much faster and your super to last longer. But the main thing is you're continuously making sure you always have another thermite grenade on hand, and this is what really is a nasty combination for PvE. So again, Armamentarium is not necessarily just game breaking or it's just going to change every aspect. It more or less just makes things easier, to utilize that synergy a little better. A thermite grenade to get a kill, to have one always available in PvE is really nice. And for PvP, especially me, I like to rock bottom tree striker a lot to be able to use everything in that bottom tree consistently, but have a secondary grenade. Because realistically, the only reason why anyone uses top tree striker is for that second grenade. Well, guys, that is Armamentarium. It is a great snag, a great exotic, and definitely falls within my top 5 of current exotics on the Titan class. A worthy exotic to bring back, and I'm glad they have. Guys, thank you so much for coming and watching this video, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.